Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. So I'm back at you again with another DIY video, and this one is going to be a Dollar Tree DIY. I love doing Dollar Tree DIYs. It's so affordable for everybody all the way around. And so we are going to be making a candelabra, okay? And so let me show you what you're going to need for this project. You're going to need 4 of these 4-inch candle holders, these 4-inch tapered candle holders. I love these. You will need 4. They are still selling these in the store. You will All right, guys, so for us to get started, we need our 4 plastic bowls, okay? And I want to try to do this without scratching them because I feel like these bowls will probably get scratched up really easy. So I'm just going to put them over here to the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and just open up our easel here. Okay, so with our easel, we want to make sure that we open this up as wide as we can. Okay, and I think this goes as wide as it's supposed to go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this cardboard and I'm going to put it right underneath here because this might get a little messy. And we just want to make sure that this thing is pulled out as far as it can go. And we want to line this up. So if you can see from that end, we want to kind of line it up so that we get a cross or an X. And then we can go ahead and start applying our glue. So I'm going to go ahead and take my glue and I'm going to put a nice generous amount of hot glue right there. And then I'm just going to hurry up and line this up. Some of it may drip down and that's fine. I just want to make sure that I line this up in a way where I've got that cross. I've got an X going on here, okay? And I'm going to try to line it up as neat as I possibly can. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with this, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add just a little bit more glue to the side. You might get a little bit of glue dripping down. I honestly would not worry about that. Okay, guys, so we have our easel put together now. And so the only thing we need to do now is flip this thing upside down. So where it actually sits in the correct position, okay, where it sits as an easel, you want to just take it, flip it to the other side where you have the we have the little flat edges that goes on the table, okay? And we're going to be taking our mini plastic bowls, getting our hot glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit right there on the top and then take my bowl and sit it right there on top. And it should bond like automatically, guys, okay? Okay, guys, so as you can see, the candelabra part is completed. And this was pretty easy. So now you can see the makings of our candelabra now because we have our little glass bowls up at the top. And this looks really, really awesome. I love how this came out. So I'm going to set this aside. And now we're going to start E6000, the pieces that we have from the Dollar Tree. All right, guys, so now we're going to move on to the part where we are going to start using our E6000. And like I said before, this is going to be simulated. So you want to make sure before you get started that all the labels are taken off and that you have some alcohol and a paper towel of some sort. And then just go ahead and start wiping off the areas where we are going to be applying the glue, just to make sure that there is no residue or anything like that that's going to hinder the E6000 from sticking together, okay? Okay guys, so what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our E6000 and we're going to go ahead and take our mini bowls, and you want to make sure that you get a nice generous amount of E6000 right here on the rim. Okay, so the first candle holder, make sure you get plenty of E6000 on that rim, but not enough that it starts to drip inside. Okay, so you want to be super careful keeping the E6000 right around the rim. It's okay if a little bit of glue gets on the outside, but you don't want any to get on the inside. So once you've done that, then you can take one of your mini glass bowls and just sit it right on top. Okay, make sure it's centered. Okay, and then just leave that one to the side and let it adhere. Same thing with the second one. Go ahead and apply your E6000, and then take your second mini bowl and just put it right there on the top, and just kind of make sure you look at it, make sure that it's centered, and also that it's not, you know, lopsided or anything like that. Then you want to make sure that you have these two pieces sitting for about 24 hours, okay? Once those two sit for 24 hours, then you can move on to the next step. Okay guys, so after the 24 hours and these two pieces have bonded, then you want to go ahead and take your alcohol again and make sure you have a paper towel, and then just wipe the rim, okay? Since it's been sitting for 24 hours, just wipe the rim, make sure there's no dust. And then you want to go ahead and get your E6000 again, and you want to put a generous amount on one of them, okay? Just make sure you put it right on the rim, being careful not to get any inside of the bowl. So just be careful and try to keep that glue from getting inside the bowl, okay? And then take your other piece and then just join them together. Once you have them joined together, then you want to sit it to the side and just let it sit for about 12 hours. I think 12 hours is reasonable. If you do it early in the morning, let's say before you go run your errands or go to work or whatever, when you get back, you know, in a couple of hours, 8 to 12 hours, it should be pretty solid. What I would suggest too is to go ahead and like put a book on this, put like a really heavy book, or you can put like a brick on top of it. That's usually what I do. You can purchase like a super cheap brick. I think these bricks are about $5. With inflation, who knows, they might be $6 each now, but when I bought mine, it was like maybe $4 or $5. And then what I usually do is just put it like in a plastic bag, okay, and just wrap it up. And I wait for this thing to like really set, okay? You don't want to put this on here when you just put the glue on there, because the glue has a tendency to shift and move around. I will link a more detailed video of what I'm talking about in the description box below, but you want to make sure that this thing is not shifting around as soon as you attach it to the other piece, which it has a tendency to do. E6000 does have a tendency to do that, so keep your eye on it. Keep adjusting it for the first 20 minutes to make sure that it does not shift out of place and that it's exactly where you put it, okay? And then I would say wait probably about 40 minutes to an hour before you actually take the brick. Really 2 hours. Wait about 2 hours and then take that brick, put it on a level table and sit the brick on top of it. And that brick is going to apply a lot of pressure to this thing and make sure that the glue sticks very well, okay? I found this to be a very successful technique, putting a lot of pressure on it while it's setting, so that you're not going to have any issues with this thing falling apart or actually air getting in there, because sometimes air will get in there and you think you have a solid bond and you really don't, because you didn't put any pressure on it. So you want to put pressure on this thing by applying a brick to the top of it, guys. Okay, so that's a little tip for you guys. Thank me later. All right, guys, so now we are back. This thing should be pretty solid because you've given it probably, what, several hours, almost like a day and a half, actually, So now all you have to do is apply your other two pieces. So again, you want to make sure you have your E6000. Please make sure you use the clear one, okay? And I know that should be a given, but for somebody who's maybe doing this for the first time, do not get the white one. Make sure you use clear, okay? And then as always, wipe the top, okay? And then go ahead and apply your E6000 right to the rim. Make sure that it's not getting inside of the candle holder, okay? And then once you do that, go ahead and put this part on here and wait. I'm thinking probably wait about 12 hours for that piece to set, and before you flip it over. And then after that 12 hours, go ahead and flip it over. Use your E6000, of course, hit the top of the other rim, and then apply your last part to this, okay, before we actually end up doing the final part of it, okay? So once you put this last candle holder on here, 4-inch candle holder, then once again, you know, give it another couple of hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. Just take your time with this stuff. The more time you give this stuff to bond, the better. Okay guys, we are back, and so this is the one that I actually completed using the E6000. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach this to our glass candy jar. Okay, so this I'm really actually going to be doing with my E6000 because that was the last part that I needed to do. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze out my E6000 onto the rim of this thing here. And once again, you know, get a nice generous amount of E6000 on here. I like to use a lot because I want to make sure that I don't have any problems, okay, with this thing bonding. So I feel like I got enough on there, and I've already wiped this stuff down with alcohol, and it looks like it's nice and centered to me. Okay, this is not a good table to be working on. I need a new table. So I'm going to put a little bit more E6000 on here. Okay, so I'm going to put this right back on my candy jar. All right, so that looks good. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to fool around with it. I'm going to wait and give it the full 30-40 minutes for it to get tacky before I actually take my brick and put my brick on top of it. I'll probably wait about 2 or 3 hours before I actually put my brick on top of this thing, and then I'm going to sit it somewhere and give it about a day, guys. I'm going to give it about a day, maybe a day and a half. Okay guys, so everything has gelled together. As you can see, everything is looking pretty good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the top of our candelabra and we're going to go ahead and attach it up here. So I hope this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my E6000 and I'm just going to go ahead and get some on the bottom of my candelabra. I'm also going to put some inside on the sides here. All right, guys, so I got all the glue exactly where I needed to put it on this, and this is absolutely gorgeous, guys. This is phenomenal. So let me get close. So get as sloppy as you need to get. The most important thing is that you get this thing hooked on to the centerpiece. So as you can see, I used a lot of glue. I did get a little sloppy, but we're going to cover this up with some diamond wrap like we usually do. But I just want to let you guys see that I really went in on that hot glue. And just use the hot glue, guys. You don't have to use the E6000. Use the Arrow hot glue and get right here on the edges so that you can get it to adhere to the candle holder. And then when you're doing it, make sure that you hold it in position so you can get it as straight as you can. You will probably have to hold it. If you put a lot of glue on it, you will have to hold this thing for a good maybe 4 minutes, okay, 3 or 4 minutes. Just hold it still until the glue sets. And then once the glue sets, the hot glue sets, you can go back around in little areas and then just fill in and put a little bit of hot glue there. Not enough to make it kind of sort of make the rest of the hot glue kind of melt back again, but just to reinforce, okay? And all right, guys, so I've attached my diamond wrap to just little sections where I kind of sort of like wanted to hide the not so hot looking parts of this, okay? So that's where I went ahead and attached my diamond wrap, especially up here where I used a lot of glue. But that was absolutely necessary. We don't want this thing falling apart, so better to use a lot of glue than not. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. Let me pull my camera back. So that looks awesome. I'm super, super happy with the way that looks. So we're going to pull this up a little bit closer. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach with some hot glue. I'm going to start attaching all of the crystals to this thing. Okay. So I'm going to be using my hot glue for that. All right, guys, so here we have it. So I pretty much just hot glued everything onto the top of the candelabra. I kind of did this backwards. I would just string all of the loose beads together and then hot glue it and do it in front of a fan so it dries really, really fast and you don't have to hold it for a long period of time. If you have a small fan, you can do this right in front of the fan, and then that way the glue will set much faster. But this is it, guys. Oh, MG, this is so, so gorgeous. Now we're going to get to our final part of this, and this is to wrap our flowers around our candelabra. All right, guys, so this looks amazing. So now we're going to finish this up. I'm going to add some lighting to the top, and this is what I'm going to be using. I got these from AC Moore before they closed out, before they closed their store. But this is a really, really cool one of those mini lights. Okay, so I'm going to set 4 of these up inside of the little mini bowls at the top. All right, guys, so I have dimmed the lights to give it a little atmosphere so you can kind of see what it would look like. This is the perfect option for if you're doing low lighting, sexy kind of thing. All right, guys, so I have lowered the lights a little bit to give it a little atmosphere so you can kind of get an idea of what this would look like. This is a great option for low lighting. You know, you have that sexy atmosphere going on. So this is awesome. Absolutely love it. So now we can leave it like this. You don't have to do anything to it, or you can bump it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add the flowers now. So that's it, guys. We are completely done here. I think this came out absolutely amazing. This is so freaking gorgeous. I know you are going to love the final results. And how could you not love this? This is Dollar Tree. You are going to be saving a lot of money, but you're going to have an amazing luxe look. The luxe look for less. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And as always, I will see you in the next DIY video. Please thumb this video up. and also visit my social media accounts. Okay, bye-bye.